Well, I found a big screen TV in the trash, but I don't think it works. Lugged this thing all the way home. Plugged it in, but it's not really working too good.
Here's what you do tonight. Right? When it gets dark, put it in front of the asshole's house.
This is the bike I rode that thing home on. I just sat it flat on top of here. I got myself a nice little fan motor too. Looks like the bearings are shot, but can use it for something. And a nice coffee pot. All this in the trash, man. All this in the trash. Even out here in Carlisle, you find good stuff. Got a bunch of cans. This television over here does not work, so I figured I would take this apart. Strangely enough, they have screws inside of here that you cannot take out with a screwdriver. It sucks you can't see it with the camera. I don't know if you can see that down in there. But that is like some kind of special screw that only... I don't know. I've never seen any kind of tool that would even fit a screw like that, so I'm going to have to break some of it apart, but there is some Phillips screws on the side here. After I get this apart, I'll show you what it looks like inside. Alright, I was able to get the cover off of the television here. I put everything back on so you can see what it's like. Now, I didn't get this part off yet. They really designed this television so you cannot, you know, just take it apart and tighten a few screws and get it working again. They really make this difficult to fix by design, because they don't want you to fix your own stuff anymore. You know, they want you to throw away all your appliances and just buy something new. Another thing that somebody told me is that if you have a small computer here like mine, you should take out your battery, the laptop battery, because apparently it actually will overcharge it. I don't know if it's true or not, but laptop batteries suck regardless, but I don't know. I take mine out as soon as it says fully charged. I just pull it out because I don't want to overcharge it. They are lithium ion, very sensitive. You know, they'll last a while, but once you overcharge them, I don't know. First time you overcharge them, they're no good. So I'd take it out if I were you, just to make sure that don't happen. However, I'm going to take this television apart now. Let's see what we got in here. I'm going to put the camera over here so you can see. Hope that ain't too far away. One thing for sure is that this cover here is very hard to get off. First thing you do is you unscrew all your screws. This comes off. Now there's this little lip over here on the side. You actually got to pull the cover over. Let me show you. This right here is just your the inside of your DVD player. I like how they put a cover over this separate, so if your DVD player gets screwed up, you can take this apart and, you know, fiddle around with it. It's cool that they did that, but one thing, to get this cover off, this is all just one flat piece. You've got to pull the side over the lip here where the disc tray is. Let me set the camera down so you can see a little better here. Hopefully the camera don't fall in the glass of iced tea, because that's what it's sitting on. Anyway, right here there's a lip. Let me shine the light on that for you. Hang on, gotta find the light. Right here is the side. You've got to bend the side outward over top of the end of the disc tray here. Watch your wire. I don't know if all televisions are the same. This television here is made by a company called AKAI. I've never even heard of it. But Actually, I'm going ahead of myself here. With this television in particular, you got to take this back piece off first, right here. Which, after you take this off, then this can come off second. But it's weird, this actually connects to here, and you won't get this off unless this comes off first. So I'm going to take this cover here off. You got to be careful with your wires here. Alright, let me put this down on the chair over here out of the way. Alright. Man, look at them magnets, dude. Wow. I didn't think they use good speakers in television sets anymore. Look at that. I gotta tell you, that is a decent speaker right there. Most flat screen televisions I don't really think have good speakers anymore. These ones right here, man, these are... Look at that. What does that say there? 10 watts? Wow. That's pretty decent. Anyway, I'm going to finish taking this apart now. I gotta say, 10-watt speakers in a flat screen television are pretty cool, I gotta say. Because the old analog TVs, a lot of times they had oval shaped speakers. And they had decent sound, but I don't know. These right here, I think these are pretty decent. Anyway, now that we got this off and we got the back off here, I'm going to try and lift this front piece over top of the disc tray here like I showed you before. I got sidetracked at the that always happens when you're working with electronics. You just got to be patient and, you know, you got to be careful with things. Hang on a second. Let me just got to pop this over top of the disc tray. There. Alright. Now that we got that done, seems to me like there's still something holding it in place. I don't think I missed any screws. I don't know what would be keeping that in there like that. Oh, I see. I see what's holding it. Believe it or not, the cable connector right here is keeping this piece of plastic on, since it's all just one big mold. Somehow I gotta slide this down and get it past here. Alright. Like I said before, they really deliberately design these things so you can't take them apart and work on them. It's almost like they want you to break it as you're taking it apart. You know, it's probably their plan, who knows. I'm just going to try my best to get it apart. Hopefully I don't break nothing. If I do, the television don't work anyway. Just going to, you know, take the components out inside so I can try and build my FM transmitter. Maybe build a linear for it. Alright. There's something right here. I love these little stickers they put on here. Never open the cabinet by yourself. Please refer servicing to qualified personnel. And that one screw that's been holding the thing on the entire time is underneath of this sticker. You gotta love it. It's like they automatically assume that you don't know what you're doing. They automatically assume that you're stupid and don't know how to fix anything. You gotta love these guys. You gotta love them. Alright, I'm gonna peel off that sticker now. I gotta peel that thing off. They automatically assume that we're all idiots and don't know how to fix our stuff. Ooh. Whoop, not the camera over. Alright. There's that one screw, this little tiny cheap screw right here. Is what was holding that in. Now, we can probably take the cover off. Yep. Alright, I'm going to try and pull this cover off now. I don't want to damage these speakers. I'm going to save them. Good speakers. Alright, now this is what we have inside. There's your DVD player. Sorry about that, the camera cut off on me. It does that all the time, I don't know why. But I'm not sure what this is, and over here there's some circuitry. To me this is all rocket science, I don't know anything about it. All I know is that I'm going to try and salvage some of these microchips and capacitors. And as a matter of fact, I think these heat sinks here are aluminum. I don't know. Right here. Usually heat sinks are aluminum because they don't hold the heat very well. They just draw the heat away from whatever kind of microchip they're against. So, here we have some screws. One here, one there, and oh, I see what this is now. Where all your connections and stuff connect to. I'm interested to see what's inside of there. Alright, I moved the television around here. I'm going to set the camera somewhere right here. Right here should be good. Hopefully you can see that. Curious at what's inside of here. I see some wires. I see a couple circuit boards. Let's see what we got. Ah, these screws are magnetic. Save all your screws. You never know when you're going to need them for something else. Alright. I think I got all the screws out of here. Oh, I missed one. One some screw. And now we've got a lot more to work with. I like this. I can probably use this for something. I'm definitely going to save this. It's thin metal and it's easy to bend. I didn't even mean it. I sat the screwdriver next to the compass here and it started spinning. I was like, whoa! I saw the compass spinning. I didn't know what to think. I guess because the the head of the screwdriver is magnetic. Anyway, this is what we've got to work with here. This is all digital stuff. It's going to be a little hard to salvage these capacitors. They're right down to the circuit board. Leads are cut so short you can't even move them. But we've got camera cut off again, sorry. But it looks to me like we've got some kind of oscillator here. Some kind of oscillator. I'd like to get that out. That looks like a digital oscillator. And then we've got this, which is the coaxial. And this box looks cool. I don't know what that is. And then over here we've got some big capacitors. Definitely going to try and get that thing out. See, I don't even know what these things are. What I'll do is I'll take my soldering iron over here and I'll melt the bottoms of the leads, like underneath the circuit board. I'll take the circuit board out and melt the leads with this, and then pull the microchip up. Then you can see it happened again, yes. Anyway, what you can do is you melt the bottoms, like from underneath the circuit board. You got to take the circuit board out, obviously. But once you do that, you melt the bottoms of the leads and you pull up on the chips. And after you do that, you can actually resolder those chips in on another circuit board or to wires, whatever you want to do with them. And as long as you have a schematic or like a blueprint, or as long as you know how to design whatever kind of circuit you want to build, all these microchips, I bet, are still good. There's probably one little chip inside of this whole television that burned out, and that stops the entire thing from working. All the other stuff you see here probably works. I mean, those speakers, I highly doubt those speakers are blown. I'm going to save them, definitely. Alright, I'm going to start unscrewing these screws here. These are digital circuit boards here. I'm really interested in this. I kind of want to get the feeling of a digital circuit board. I don't really work on digital stuff much. Digital stuff, I don't know. I'm not good at fixing digital stuff. I can fix analog stuff. Anybody can. But stuff like this, I don't know. It's a little too complicated for me. I can take it apart and, you know, pull things out of it, but when it comes to fixing it, I have no idea. If I knew how to fix it, I wouldn't even be doing this. I would just fix whatever's wrong with it, but it's way beyond my knowledge. But hey, to me it's just another toy. I got it for free out of the dumpster, so I can't complain. It's just another gift from the dumpster. I definitely can't complain. Gonna take this screw out. I'm just gonna take out these screws here. I'm not going to waste your time, and you know, because you can't really see much. So I'm going to pause the camera in a minute. And after I get this circuit board out, I shall show you what it looks like. Alright, I got all the screws out here, as you can see. I've unplugged a lot of the wires. I gotta say, that's one good thing about digital technology. Everything is all plug-ins. Just plug it in, pull it out. But I'm having a little problem here. See, I don't really want to destroy anything. I just want to... Oh, my jacket's caught here, my shirt. See, I don't really want to destroy anything. I just kind of want to take it apart and see how it works before I go and ruin it. And I noticed these wires here are very thin. And I don't want to just yank them off because I don't know. I don't know what this wire does. I don't know where it goes. If I save this machine here or television, who knows? I might want to... Who knows, I might need whatever this is connected to. I don't want to rip off the wires here. But that's the only... Other than that, though, I mean, I can't lie, there's some good stuff here. Like the DVD player here, I don't know. I don't know how to hook one of these things up. But it doesn't look like it's damaged to me. I mean, it looks perfectly new. I popped the cover off on the side, but the cover just pops right back on. Other than that, I haven't done anything to it. You know, or for all I know, there might actually be a movie in here. I would laugh if there was still a movie in here. Alright, I finally got this apart. Now I can take the circuit board out. I actually take that back. I can't get the circuit board out because these two ICs here, intergated circuits, are actually soldered. This end right here, all these prongs are soldered into this side of the board, and the other end of the chip is soldered to another circuit board down here. I didn't even see that up here. But that's connected to your, I think these are the AUX jacks in the back here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but so I don't really know what I'm going to be doing about that yet. Alright, right here is our first circuit board I was able to get out. It's all connected to the back panel here where you would plug in your wires and your antenna. Pretty cool, I think. I mean, even though it's digital, I don't know anything about it. It just, to me, looks cool. It's cool having it in my hands. I've never had such a sophisticated piece of, to me, it's like machinery. Even though it's electronic, it's still a machine. It's just very sophisticated. I'd love to learn how to, you know, how to build something like this. That'd be awesome. I'm glad this TV has a lot of wires, because I'm always in need of copper wire. It doesn't actually have to be copper, just any kind of wires. You know, because if you take something like this apart, always save the wires. You know, you never know when you're going to need to rig something up, you know. When you work with stuff like this, just pretend it's a toy. You can do whatever you want with it. Whoops. Maybe that's God correcting me. Maybe there's something specific He wants me to do with it. I don't know. As of now, I'm just gonna, you know, get the usable parts. I really like these capacitors here, I gotta tell you. They gotta be at least 100-volt capacitors, going by the size. Very powerful. While I have this in front of me, check out the circuitry here. This is what I was telling you about earlier. Hang on, let me get a clearer picture for you. There we go, that's a little better. Now you see, let's say you wanted to take out... look at that capacitor right there. Right there is your leads down there. Let's say you wanted to take out that capacitor. You flip this over. Hang on, I gotta find the leads myself. You just gotta flip the circuit board around and get the light. I can't see too good. Let's say you wanted to take out this capacitor here. Sorry for the shakiness. The capacitor right here, you gotta find them leads. And then you flip. Right here is the two leads for the capacitor. Now I'm going to be taking this out, just not right now. So what you would do is you would take your soldering iron, melt the solder here, and then push the lead through the circuit board. And then of course you do the same on this side, and then after you have your solder melted, you want to pull the chip out. You don't want to let the solder harden, or else you'll have to do it again. While the solder's hot and melted, you pull on the capacitor or whatever kind of chip you're trying to pull out. And yeah, then you got your microchip. Well, now that I got all that out, I saw this little symbol here. Figured since this is in front of me, I might as well tell you what that means. This right here, whenever you see that right there is a ground. Usually this symbol means ground. Now I'm going to take out these speakers. I really like these speakers here. Because look at this. They got a nice magnet. Means they've got good sound. Alright, I got the screws out to the speaker. It's loose. Now I just got to get the wire unhooked. Check this speaker out, man. Look at that. Look at that. It's got the nice rubber woofers. This is a very nice sounding speaker, I gotta say. I'm definitely gonna hold on to these, man. Look at the magnets on these things. I didn't even know they made stuff like that anymore. I'm impressed. I gotta say, whatever kind of company made this television, they sure as heck put in some decent speakers. I give them credit for that. Alright, I'm gonna get this speaker out now. I haven't even got to the screen yet. I'm not really worried about the screen. I'm more interested in the speakers. The speakers are awesome. It should be good, yeah. These are some really cool speakers. What I gotta do now is... Oh, I don't even have to cut any wires. That wire went right into one of the circuit boards. All I gotta do is snip the end of the wire. And I got two decent little speakers here. If you ever find a television in the trash, grab it, man. Seriously. There's a lot of cool stuff inside. Now this has got a magnet. I can't put it anywhere near the computer. Whatever you do, don't ever put a magnet near your computer. That'll destroy your hard drive. Now if I wanted to, I could take out all these screws here, all along here, and all along here to get the screen that's inside out. But I could be wrong about this, I don't know. But from my knowledge, the screen, which is the main part of the television, from my knowledge is useless. I mean, I have no idea how to get the thing to display a picture. You know, it's a digital screen. I don't know anything about that. You know, I don't know what's in it. I don't know how to take that apart, so I think I'm going to leave the screen alone and work on these microchips over here. See, I want this capacitor right here. I don't know what it is about that capacitor. Something about it, I just want it. And then these aluminum heat sinks here, right here. These. Could add them in my, oh, I stuttered there. I can add these aluminum heat sinks in with my aluminum pile when I go to the scrapyard, or I can actually hold on to these, hook some transistors to them. I'm curious of what kind of microchip these are connected to. Ooh, that's a good resistor right there. I'm going to take that out too. I'm going to see what's underneath here. I'm going I'm going to grab the power cord here. It's got a good switch. Question is how to get the switch out. I don't know about that one. Take out the whole piece. One thing I notice is that this TV here has these clamps that you normally see inside of speaker casings. It's funny how a television would have that. But I can use these, like every now and then I'll find a speaker in the trash with a nice wood casing and the speaker will be all ripped up. And sometimes, depending on the speaker you have and the casing, how it's designed, you need these clips here to hold, I'll show you, to hold the rim of the speaker against like this thing right here. You would use one of them to clamp the rim of the speaker like right here to hold it in place, and then you screw it down. That way you don't get vibration. Just a little trick I learned over, rebuilding speakers over the years. Whenever you see these little clamps, unscrew them and save them. You never know when you're going to need them. Alright, the last thing I'm going to take off of this television set here is the DVD player. And it's funny, I checked, there is in fact a CD inside of here. I don't know if you can see it move around or not. Hang on. Let me try and move it. Yeah, see it spinning? Hang on, let me hold the camera more steady. There you go. Wonder what movie that is. Alright, hopefully the wires here aren't in your way. Gonna take out the screws to the DVD player now. I don't even know why I'm taking the DVD player out. Maybe I won't take it out because I ain't ever going to use the DVD player. I don't watch movies. I'll watch a movie that's like 40 years old from the 70s or something, but I won't watch anything after like 85, 86. I don't know. That's when the Illuminati started hitting Hollywood and music industry. Things started to change around then. After 85, the music really became weird, especially the movies. Anyway. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm not going to take the DVD player out. I just want to get that movie out, see what it is. Might be able to sell it and make a couple bucks. Turns out I can't get the DVD out, so I'm going to work on this chip. I was looking here at these heat sinks. It turns out that there is some pretty powerful transistors on this circuit board here. Look at this. I don't know. Hang on, let me get a clearer picture for you. There you go. See, look, there's one transistor right there. And there's another one right there. And that's connected to this gigantic heatsink. And then on the other side, we got another one. And I can tell you now, those transistors are good to have. So they are going to be the first components I'm going to take out of here. Alright, now I gotta figure out where I'm gonna plug in the soldering iron. A buddy of my dad's gave me this. I had a soldering gun, but that thing's seen his days, so luckily I got one of these. Problem is that both of our plugs over here are used in oh, there's a microwave. There might be a plug over here somewhere. Alrighty, now I've got the soldering iron warming up here. I needed an extension cord, but what happened is that the extension cord would pull the wire and it would knock the cup over, and the soldering iron's like I don't know, like 1,000 degrees, so I didn't want to set it on the table and ruin the wood. Figured I'd put it in a cup or on top of the cup, whatever. Guess that'll work. I just gotta let that heat up, and these transistors shall be freed from their circuit madness. As a matter of fact, while the soldering iron's warming up, I figured I would point something out to you. There's actually a manufacturing date on this circuit board right here. Let me set the camera on top of here. There's actually a date that shows when this circuit board and the television was put together. It says November 30th, 2005. 2005 wasn't that long ago. That was like what, like 5 or 6 years ago, 7. What year is it? Still 2013. That was only actually 8 years ago, a little longer than I thought. 8 years ago. This television, that must have cost it like $600 or $700 when it was new at least. That's a flat screen. Seriously, man, that's a flat screen TV. That was like top of the line in 2005, if you think about it. And that thing didn't even last 8 years. Imagine how the stuff, you know how lousy stuff is made now? Oh, look at the soldering iron smoking. That's just the whatever's on there burning off. But you think, with the way stuff is made now, like now in 2013, I bet you this stuff being made now won't even last 5 years for real. It's probably just one thing, like one little component inside of this entire television that didn't work. And that basically made the entire system fail. You know, so hey, I'm glad it's in the trash, don't get me wrong. But think about it. Before you go and spend $500 or $600 on something that truthfully doesn't even cost $10 to make, never forget the fact that, you know, you're probably not going to get more than 3 or 4 years out of it, truthfully. So, you know, just decide whether it's truthfully worth, you know, $300 or $400. Believe me, you're not getting no sale. I don't care what Walmart or Kmart or Target says. You're never getting a sale. Every year the prices go up. You know what I mean? It's always more expensive than what it was the year before. Believe me, you're not getting no deal on anything. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not costing no more than $10 or $15 to make that television for real. You know, like all the components in here, if you buy these in bulk, you'll... This circuit board right here, you can easily... I mean, yeah, I could put this circuit board together for less than 20 bucks probably. You know, and you think these companies buy in bulk, it ain't costing them much to make a circuit board like that. But make a long story short, the soldering iron is heated up, so I'm going to get started with this. Alright, the soldering iron's nice and hot. I want that capacitor, but I'm going to save the capacitor. I want to... First I gotta unscrew these transistors from their heatsink here. That soldering iron's hot, I can smell it. It's good though. Needs to be hot to melt the metal. There's a lot of chips on this board, so it's a little hard to mark. Just give me a second here. I don't want to keep having to restart the camera, so I'm just going to find out where the leads of this transistor are and get them out. Right here is the transistor, so... I believe that's it right there. These 3 leads. I haven't even used this soldering iron yet, so It's hot. See how good this works? Oh, this soldering iron works so much better than that soldering gun, for real. I'm gonna start just by scraping the side. Sorry, the camera cut off and I forget what I was saying. But make a long story short, I can't use that soldering iron yet. I gotta, I'm glad I tested it out before I really started using it. The thing here just fell out, so I gotta unplug it and let it cool down and fix that. Oh, man. Cord is hot as shit. It's all part of the game, my friend. I gotta let the soldering iron cool down. It's got a short. I'm glad I didn't leave that plugged in too long, because I would have probably burnt the house down. I noticed while I was trying to melt the solder around the transistor that usually sparks don't really bother me much, but it was sparking a lot. And the thing was moving around, and finally it came out, so just gotta let that cool down for about 10 or 15 minutes, take it apart, and it just screws in. It's no big deal. But, you know, you can't use it while it's loose. If you use it while it's loose, you could get electrocuted. So, yeah, I'm just gonna pause. Alright, I got the soldering iron working again. I'm going to try and get that capacitor. I really want that capacitor here. Whoop. It's loose. I don't know if I got both the leads or not. Alright. Yeah, there we go. I've been wanting this thing since I first took the TV apart. And the best part is that the leads are nice and long. You got plenty of room to work with here. 450 volts. My man, that's just what I need. Alright, I don't want to fry up the transistors, so it's really hard to get them out because of all the stuff that's around them. I'm going to start off by salvaging the capacitors that have the longest leads, because a lot of them here, as you can see, the leads are very short. Hang on. Sorry that the video is so blurry, but you see, whoa, see the video or the capacitors here, how close they are to the board and how short the leads are. They're hard to get out, but stuff like this diode right here, the leads are nice and long. You have plenty of room to work with, and they're easy to get to right there. So I'm going to take out that diode next. Battery on the camera is starting to die, so probably have to charge the battery and finish the video in a little bit. But since the soldering iron's on, I'm just going to continue doing this. Finish the video whenever the battery charges. I'll just keep it rolling until she dies. Trick is like hold the soldering iron on the component and wait for the solder to melt, and then just push it through the board. Really helps if you pull it too. There we go, I got one end. Come on, baby. One thing is, you don't want to let your microchips get too hot. Like if you hold the soldering iron on the lead too long, the chip could get hot and you can actually damage the chip. So it's just another thing to think about. Yeah, this stuff's fun, but it's only fun if the chips you get out actually work. Now this diode right here I can use for a lot of stuff. I just gotta figure out how Come on, baby, come on. There we go. Almost got it. Almost got it. There we go. I got the diode. That right there is a diode. With these, you know, this camera I have is a good camera, but it gets really aggravating when it just keeps cutting off. I'm trying to teach you something and it's not helping. However, this right here, let me put it on the table so you can see it here. This right here is called a diode. These are used, like, let's say you have current flowing in one direction and you have a generator hooked up to a battery, let's say. And when the generator stops, you don't want to waste power from your battery, you know, to start turning the generator. So that's what a diode would be used for. Only allow current to flow in one direction, and then as soon as you stop applying current, like to a battery or a circuit, the current won't go back and basically give feedback. I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you. If you don't, just go to Google, or really any website on the internet will probably tell you everything. All the search results are the same anymore. I think every search engine's just about the same. So if you would like to learn about a diode and how this works, just you know, type it in on the internet. You ain't got to go to the library and rent a book or anything. Those days are over. Although there is a lot of stuff in the books that you won't find on the internet, I gotta say. But I'm going to continue this and charge up my battery here, and then I'll you know, I'll keep the video rolling. Alright, it's been about, say it's been about a half an hour or so. As you see, I've been passing the time. This is the circuit board here. Now there's still a bunch of stuff on here, but I was able to get a couple of these really powerful transistors out. Something about these transistors, I don't know, I just like them. I like the way they look. I like the way they feel. They just look cool. And there's that 450 volt capacitor. Not really sure what this is. Looks like a coil. Alright, well there's a transistor that I want to get out right here. But this capacitor is in the way, so I'm going to have to take the capacitor out before I can get to the transistor. The trick is to pull, like pull on one side, then pull on the other side. Pull on one side, pull on the other side. Whenever you're pulling these microchips out of the board. That's the easiest way I've found. I've had this soldering gun plugged in for like an hour now, and I gotta tell you, dude, it is getting hot. Normally these capacitors are easy to get out. It's just that there's a bunch of them all crammed together in one area. Normally these capacitors here are easy to get out, but this one has really short leads, so that's why it was so hard to get out. Now it should be a little easier to get to the transistor here. There's a transistor right there that I got to get to. Now I can wiggle it around, and I've got room to work here. It's halfway out. Alright. Oh. Transistor's getting really warm for me trying to melt the solder leads here. Alright, I'm going to have to try a different method. See, as you can see, transistor's loose. It's just a matter of scraping the side. As you can see, here's our transistor. Now that was connected to the heatsink on the other side that you saw. That was connected to the actually, I'm sorry, it was over here. It was right here. Now this right here is a good resistor, but it's a little close to the board there, as you can see. That's the only problem. Now I have a screwdriver stuck underneath of the heatsink there. I melted the one lead, and now I'm going to have to melt the other lead here to the heatsink, and I'm going to use the screwdriver to pry the heatsink away from the board. A little better. I'm getting tired now. This is the chips I've gathered from this circuit board. Wait, that's a screw. Why pay for microchips when you can get them for free out of old appliances in the trash? Peace, man. I hope you enjoyed the video.